Hello, IK here. Welcome to update part 5. We have two posts in post list. This is one post, and down is second post. But look at what I marked. I marked update and delete. It means that title, content, update, delete is part of post excerpt component. And post list is a list of post excerpt component. Post list is parent to post excerpt component. And now I will click update. Look at what changes, what must be rendered, what we see on the screen, what changed? Changed that we now see update form. Before, we didn't see on the screen update form. This is update form with update and cancel button. This button delete, it is button for delete complete post. But this action, click on button update, first update, because here is a second update of it. First update was owner was post excerpt. Now of this update button, owner is update form. It is a logical condition for to see or not to see. There is a dependency. Dependency show edit form false or true. There is a dependency updated ID. Updated ID and show edit form. Show edit form must be true, and updated ID must be some number of posts on what we clicked. And interesting, who must be rendered? Look at here. Only post excerpt, and it is rendered only one time for one post, concretely post what we clicked. We want it. It is excellent that function like it, because we just need it. We just want it. We don't want that every off post would be rendered, because rendered post excerpt. Post excerpt is child, and can be in other situation when child rendered, after that in parents rendered. But here it is just like we want. Rendered only post excerpt. If we click cancel, again, rendered only post excerpt. Look at now number 2. Number 2, here it is. It means that the post excerpt rendered second time. Again, refresh. After refresh, we have this is last post excerpt rendered, and it is okay. We see rendered 2 times because a list there is a two post excerpt, two post excerpt, and the post excerpt rendered 2 times. But now again, update and delete is a button. Owner of that button is post excerpt. Post list parent component is owner of post excerpt and nothing more. Post excerpt. There is a 2 post excerpt, and always rule is that before rendering, always first rendered child, then parent. It is okay, it is logical because we cannot see parent list, it is parent, post list, empty. That we see post excerpt. Post excerpt must be like child rendered first. And it is case. And again, now update button, post excerpt here, rendered, because changes state of post excerpt. Post excerpt, there is a state, a local state, updated ID, and show edit form. Updated ID, show edit form. It is to dependency about depend opening or closing update form. And now cancel again. After cancel, when we cancel, post excerpt, concretely this one, will be without visible update form. And it is big reason to render it post excerpt, because we cannot see something what is not rendered. When we click cancel, would be re-rendered post excerpt. And we don't see on the screen update form. Only that post, only child, that one child of post list. Click on the cancel, and we see number 2 here. Number 2. If I click update, post excerpt, we see here the number 3. If I click cancel for update, visible, cancel, not visible. Excellent, excellent function, only the post excerpt rendered. And now we go a step ahead. After update, I will edit. I will edit, for example, this post, and now I'm going to click update of the form, this update of the form, and look at what I would activate with update. With update, when I click on update, I will dispatch edited post, title and content, dispatch to thank function. Dispatch thank function, and it would be parameter of thank function. And after dispatch, edit, show edit form, change to false. Why? That I don't see update form. And in any case, must be uh, re-rendered post-excerpt. Absolutely, because we see when we click on cancel, it was before it was changes show edit form from false to true, and again from true to false. And we see and we don't see, visible, not visible, update form. Update form. For to see update form, we need one more dependency, it is updated ID. But for the close update form, don't be visible. We need only show edit. We need only show edit form mutate to false. And now, when we click on update, we dispatch tank function update post, tank function update post with parameter title, with parameter ID, title, and content. And after dispatch, immediately, we don't wait the result. After dispatch tank, immediately show edit form go to false. Let's see what it means. It means that dispatch tank dispatch tank update post means two dispatch action, two action dispatch, two action, pending type and fulfilled, two action, and that action, every action, dispatch every action to reducer to global state. Every dispatch every of that action means changes of global state post. That global state post is food, is entering global post, entering to post list, and from post list in post excerpt. And now look at what happened. Dispatch pending type, dispatch pending type action means waiting. Pending means waiting fulfilled. And there is no payload. We only change its status to loading. And it is enough reason that we have a re-rendering post list. After that, we have fulfilled, what means that update post request, asynchronous request to server update our update and respond same ID, title, and content, and it is action payload, and that action payload coming in reducer and must and changes concretely update, concretely post in our browser. Only one post would be updated. And it is a reason, because it is changes in global, it is a reason, every times is reason that post list re-render it, complete with re-render it. It means it is a reason that post excerpt would be 2 times two times rendered only on fulfilled. Post excerpt never rendered on pending type, because pending type nothing happened. There is no changes in post, array post. There is changes in object post. Status change to loading, from idle to loading. But post excerpt, there is a changes only when post, global post changes. Global post go to post list, and from post list, global post go to post excerpt, and changes in fulfilled means that exist action payload. This time exists the action payload, but that action payload in the reducer, Redux reducer in global position, will change only one update, only one post. But it is enough. It is enough that is practically for a global situation. It is changes of post, object post, because global position always look at global post, complete array post, and changes one post, never mind. It is changes complete post and the array post, and that array post go in post list like news, and every of that post go to post excerpt, and we have two times post excerpt rendered. It means that when I click in update of the form, I will have rendered of update form, because update form changes title and content, and it is local user state, activate rendering update form. But after that, dispatch update post dispatch tang function, we have two times re-rendering post list, and that second times fulfilled must be first rendered post excerpt two times, only on fulfilled. Okay, again, when I click now update, will be updated update form. After that, we see rendering of post list two time, and after that to see post excerpt two time. But now we always said that post excerpt is child must be rendered before parents, and not be last in list of rendering, but be before post list. But it is not important because how show list, what we see on the list is how algorithm work, but real activity in the background is that post excerpt must be rendered before post list. It means that when rendering post list rendered pending type is okay. Post excerpt not re-rendered, but post excerpt rendered fulfilled must be shown after post excerpt rendering. But post excerpt cannot be rendered if there is no fulfilled. And it means we must see fulfilled, happened fulfilled, and that fulfilled provoke, initiate rendering of post excerpt. And because of that, we will see 2 times rendering post list and 2 times rendering post excerpt, and finish story. Because again, fulfilled must be happened, must be fulfilled, must be happened in post list. It means rendering. If we want changes in post list, it is happened immediately because use selector is connected to global post. Immediately changes in global post immediately is visible in post list, and it is rendering. It cannot be without rendering. And what we have then, post excerpt rendered, and after that we have post list rendering, and after that we see post excerpt rendering, because in this situation cannot be child rendered before parent. Cannot be child rendered before parents, because I said in background there is algorithm, there is a actual document object model and virtual, and algorithm who regulate. And here is a data important. Here is a data must go in post list, it fulfilled, must change post in post list, and from that post, after that, post by post go in post excerpt, and that moment entering post member in post excerpt means re-rendering. 1 times post excerpt of post 1, after that post excerpt post 2, 2 times post excerpt. In short, when I click on update, I will see update form rendered, update form, update post form rendered. After that, 2 time rendering post list, and after that 2 time rendering post excerpt. Okay, let's get click. We see update post form rendered. After that, rendered pending type because of tank dispatch pending type action, and properties of state post is like this: array as was, status loading, error no, and after that fulfilled, status was succeeded, and array is 2 posts, but one of that post is updated, and that updating of and that fulfilled that new post array and new post members, even though is only one new that updated, never mind, post excerpt, look at, render it 2 times. Render it 2 times. Because of less confusion, because to be more clear, I talk this story only look at in uh, this screen. Right side is Redux tools for it is addition Redux developer kit, and left side is uh, visible component. And I spoke about state, but link of application will be in description below video, and you can open uh, and see script update form. There is a title and content. It is local state. Post list, there is a global state, not local state. Global states is post in a reducer, in a store, in a Redux store. But it is immediately, it is connected, it is a listener, there is a listener connection between that global state and the states in post list. And all changes, global, not happen in post list, all changes happen in a global position, in reducer, in Redux, and that change is coming in post list. Global state is object post with the three properties. Post, again, same name, it is array, status, and error. For us, the most interesting is array post. Status and error, it is only important because of Redux, because of global state, that depending that subscriber component know at first of all, that Redux know what happened during asynchron process. And he know it is pending, fulfilled, or rejected. It no Redux, but when a no Redux must know a component and must know developer for component to show user what happened. Does it error? Does it loading time and create animation or message loading, waiting, etc. Redux must know, and if Redux know, it would be know in the developer, and would be create code for information to user. But of course, main part of that is array post, and on the remote mock server, we have only array. We have only post, plural post, array. And in Redux reducer, we have object post. And with array post, status, and error. Because of Redux, information for Redux about asynchronous process. And post list is connected to object, connected to user, to Redux, to object, global object post, and connected to properties of that object. And we in post list, we have post state, status state, and error state. And post state is important for our story about action payload. Action payload is always about only about post array, but status and error in list in post list is only useful for to show logic when to code animation of waiting, loading, when code error, etc. And it would be for me the biggest confusion in this situation with Redux. And I like Redux because I understand Redux. I understand this what I explain you. Again, on the mock server, we have array post. This moment with two posts in. In Redux, we have object post with three properties. One of them is post. That array post, what coming from what we communicate asynchron. And post list, there is a connection to properties of connection to post array and connection to post array status and error. And we spoke about local state, global state. What is state on the post list? What is it? Does it? It is global state. It is global state. Or because they post list is connected to global state, and global state, any changes immediately is visible in that post status and error immediately. Why it is global state? Because it is subscribed. Post list is subscribe on state. Subscribe. Like you subscribe on a newspaper, and every morning you receive newspaper and read newspaper. Who is owner of that news? Owner is publisher house, not you. Same is here. Post list is not owner of post status and error. Not owner. It is subscribe. That component is post list is component subscribe to global global state, subscribe, and received immediately any news from global state. And post array is important. Post array coming like payload, properties of action object in enter point, one of two, enter point in reducer, and other enter is state. But what state? It is a state copy of state output from reducer. It is object, but confront only post array to post array. Other status and error is not important, and it is don't go through reducer. It go through middleware and changes. And changes changes global state. But through reducer, go only post array of global state and post from server. That two post every time in CRUD, create, update, delete, and read, in that operation, we confront, on input of reducer, we confront payload and post. Payload is what coming from server. It is what server respond. And here is interesting that server only in a read option respond complete post from server. And it is reason that we see it is beginning. We must see all posts. But after that, add a new post. It is from us. We type in add new post form, title and content, send it to asynchronous request, and server add it to existing array and respond and create ID and respond ID, title, and content. And respond data through reducer, through tank action, pending action, add post, and action that payload is only in reading complete from server coming post array. But add new post is what we send. It is what we received. Payload is what we send, we receive back. And we, in our application, incorporate it in our list and immediately see it. Also update, also delete. But we see it, what we add to server. We see on our screen, but it don't see somebody who have open application in the world and look at in the screen. He don't see your add new post if not refresh. But he not refresh, he don't see your add new post. New user what ask for your application from server, see new post. If you want, like in social network, to see immediately a respond of your correspondent, that you see immediately a message, you must ask server which support that feature, and it's all is okay. Your programming and the coding is the same. It means that go ahead with this same application, go ahead in immediately see a message of your correspondence. Okay. Okay. It was very confused for me. Because explanation is short, or it is all is a state, and what concretely, and that object and payload, action payload. When we see a reducer, we see state and action in input and state output. That state output, we see one loop to that state output equal state input. It is very confused because state output must be object with post array, status, and error object. But if we have input, if we know that input is copy of that state, because immutable way, We always see a copy of that object in input position. But action, there is only two properties. Uh, properties type, action type, and properties payload. Payload is what coming from server. It is payload is always something about it is one post or all posts in or one post updated or one post deleted or one post added or all post read when we read, and it is payload. And we have that we must see payload and that it is application about post array. There is no about object. We don't need object, but Redux need object. Okay, and in input in reducer is state and action, but they not compatible. State, input state, there is three properties: post array, status, and error. But action, there is action type and post array. And what means compatible? Compatible means that when status loading from idle to loading, I must have that information in action, and loading, there is a compatible load status. Status must be in both sides of equation, but it is not. Also error. We have error in state post in object, but we have no state in action. And how we can compare and change and something what there is no on both sides. And it confused me, Laura. And what means, I talk a lot about that with ChatGPT, and help me, absolutely help me. My productivity of knowledge, here concretely React, is million% after meet with ChatGPT. And I uh, I discuss it, and what is the result of that discussion? That status and error don't go is not in state in input. It is not. They don't go through reducer. It is go to through middleware. It is not important for us how it is go. It exists. It will be in a state output, but it is not in input, and it is not in action object. And if it is not in action object, cannot be, cannot come through action. There is no action in action object. There is no status and there is no error. There is only post. It means that there is no, if there is no status and error, cannot be changed through that. And middleware does it for us. And it is again example of declarative programming. Declarative programming. It means you write how I said. You don't need understand all. What worry about that? You have no time for thinking about that. You see what you see and go ahead. Why not? I cannot work like that. I cannot, and I interested all of that. And now when I know what happened, I am lucky. I like program in React. Very, very love program in React. And true to say, uh, uh, I don't know. I know that I was only confused, and I don't know how beginner go in that React. I miss that everybody who learn React must know all that about I spoke here. Cannot without it. Cannot without it. And how how understand that action on input reducer and state can go in equation, in some equation and calculation. State with the three properties, object with three properties, action with the two properties, but don't have nothing together. Here you have payload, and you need times to know that it is post. What we left side we call post array, thinking on post array, and this payload is something about post, one post or post singular, or all post or array, etc., etc. It is not same name. Left is in state post, but right is payload. Action dot payload. It is properties of object, uh, action, action object. And okay, I hope that I help you. That is interesting for you also, that you understand. I want to be slow, want to be clear, and I look at in this what I look at, because if I go from this screen in code and back there and back and there and back, I lose concentration, my concentration and your concentration. You can see all about I spoke in code yourself, or we can see in some next video all this story. Look at only in a script, only in a script. I like talk about this a lot of time, because every time like I mean that I something discover, that I something discover that I didn't find real, or that I didn't discover all about React. But this moment, I very satisfied how I see all that now. Declarative programming is declarative programming is a big shortcut in coding. Shortcut that you code a minimum of minimum, but also understand minimum of minimum when you first meet, when you first see that all shortcuts on the screen of React application. And don't waste time. It is not waste time to stay on declarative programming, concretely example, as you need. But Chat GPT is here, and It is big help and saving time. If you know somebody that video like this can help, send them. Tell them about this channel, this video. Like it if you like, subscribe if you need, and help that our community around this video and other about this channel growing. And it is a good learning group what growing, and like that growing our knowledge, even more mine than yours, uh, believe me. Okay, thank you for watching this video.